That's similar to Zoom. Morning, Ilse.
Morning.
Recording has been started.
I like that Carlos just pronounced it.
Nema neostas.
How are you?
I'm fine. We're fine, it seems like. How are you?
I am getting ready to speak. No, I'm good. Yes, I'm good.
Would it help that they
Energized.
give you some introductions about them?
Yes, please. I would love to hear a little bit what who you are, where you are actually at the moment. Where do you sit? And yes, and then we can start.
I guess we can start sharing. We are three of us, me, Selina, and Christiana. We are in Nynäshamn, Sweden, and we are here because we're going to a startup conference, Tech Arena. So this is an unusual environment for us, but all of the other ones, I guess, are in our co-working, where we usually work and then see lectures and meet with other courses, also studying in Business Academy. Do you need some information about Business Academy, or has Aris told you?
I think but maybe in like in the 2 sentences. How do you like? Do you enjoy your studies in Business Academy? Since Aris is here, probably you will say everything is great.
No, uh, we do really, really like it.
Okay. And what about others? I see
It's
Ralph's.
nice. It's nice.
Robert, okay. So you are in the same room, actually, Carlos, Roberts, and Ralph's.
And
Just
Christoph.
different corners? And
Yeah.
Christop's as well. Okay. But it looks that it's pretty cold because Ralph's is like in many layers.
And I guess
Okay.
you're still home, right?
Yes, but I'm gonna be on site next week and also on presenting day, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So maybe I would love to, before we start, maybe I would love to hear something about your experience with service design. Do you have some experience? Do you know the term? Have you heard it ever?
Before yesterday's homework, maybe the question is.
Yes.
I've heard the term, and I have like directly doing it. I have very little experience. My first one was in January when we were in hackathon, and I was with the older course students, and they were like, "Oh, we should do like this." Some kind of service design template or something.
Blueprint.
Yeah, and but actually yesterday when I was going through the book, I noticed that I actually know some of the methods and approaches. So it's like I might not have known before that it's a part of service design. So today I'm also interested to see what I did not know that service design is.
Yes. What about others?
I saw, well, similarly to Alice, I also didn't exactly know what it is. Maybe I have used some of it, but didn't know that it's service design. I saw some correlations between design thinking a little bit in developing or experimenting, where you like test and do hypotheses. Something I saw from that as well in service design. Also, there was mentioned design thinking, I think, in one of the books. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And the guys?
I'm gonna be honest.
That's good.
Good, good.
Yeah, sorry. It also has the speakers on, so I'm just hearing feedback right now. But for me, the first time hearing the term service design was definitely a couple of weeks ago when we got introduced that we're going to have this course. Well, should have known earlier, but anyways. But the most interesting part is that, yeah, we've already went through a couple of techniques that we're going to use here. At least I believe we're going to at least do something associated with that. But the whole framework isn't really that unknown. We've went through it in different ways, and so service design isn't completely something new. But under this term, there's probably very much to explore. So.
Mm. And what about Carlos and Ralphs? Mm. Okay. Ralphs? It's strange that some of you, you are in
Ralphs
the
is
same
lagging.
room, but you have, yes, you have better internet connection than Ralphs does.
Ralph, you got asked. So, what do you know about service design this far? You can just speak right now.
Okay, amazing. At the moment, I'm just trying to compare it to the course we had already developed by experimenting, and it seems pretty similar, but at this time it's more about already ongoing project or service or product. So basically, it's testing your idea, but at this time it's testing already your business, which is running, and developing it in ways you do not know at the moment you want to develop.
So
Okay.
compared to developing by experimenting, right?
Sorry?
He said it was similar to developing by experimenting, as at least what he went through.
Ralph's nodded. He said yes.
Okay. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your insight. I think it was very important for me to understand like how deep I'm going in, even though I have all the slides and everything, but still to understand a little bit what to go maybe quicker through or not. But as I say, actually, I will try to explain as much as I can in this very short time, because actually service design is something very, very big. And yesterday when I was preparing for the lecture, I was thinking like, is it possible to really introduce, I don't know, the marketing or social research, for example, in 3 hours, and then let you really do this. So I will try my best, and I hope you can manage with the homework, because I'm teaching service design basics course already for many years, and my students are doing this course for 14 weeks, and we are meeting every week, and they are going slowly through step by step. So it's really different setup what you will have to do. So if there is some problems or something, then we have planned with Aris also some meetings with you next week, so it's possible for us to discuss, and I can help you and consult in some issues if you have some problems. But okay, let's start the lecture then. I'm really the Zoom person, so for me this will be the meeting. Oh.
Still the same button on below.
Yes, but it's enter screen, and then no, not this one. Yes.
Bingo.
Yeah, but I cannot see you. Yeah, that's the way how it goes. Yes.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have something to say, you just have to shout, because I have no idea what you are, how you look there on the other side of the screen. So if you are crying, or if you are smiling or laughing, or I don't know what, then please react somehow loudly, so I know that you are there and you have something to ask. And maybe I
Probably.
would be really happy actually if we could do so, that if you have some questions, then you ask it immediately, because then maybe it's easier to make it as a discussion. Okay?
Ilse, once you hear this sound,
Okay.
that means we
Okay.
want to ask a question.
Okay. 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 So let's talk about service design today. And first of all, I little bit get to know you, and at least how you look like and where you are at the moment. And I will a little bit tell about myself. So I'm an associated professor in Art Academy, and that's one of my profiles. Another one, I am head of joint study program, and our study program is located in Kuldīga, actually quite close to you. And we were talking with Aris that maybe it would be nice if you could come and visit my students. So I'm the head of the joint study program of service design strategies and innovations, and it's implemented by 3 universities. So our students, they are master students. They are receiving 3 diplomas from Art Academy of Latvia, from Estonian Academy of Arts, and the University of Lapland. And also our students, while they are studying service design, they are also having mobility through all these countries, all 3 universities. So first year is happening here in Latvia, and then next year they are traveling to Estonia and to Finland, and then switching the universities. And actually, yes, as we discovered with Aris, that he didn't know that there is such a program, but we are here already for 3rd year. And the students from all over the world actually are studying here. We have students from Nigeria and from Venezuela and Thailand and China, and also from Latvia. And yes, everybody is studying service design. So this is just to prove that this is a big topic I'm talking about. Yes, but I graduated my master's degree. I received in Aalto University in Finland, and also this study path actually is the one what brought me in the service design field. But in some years, because I graduated as furniture designer, but at some point I understood that actually product design is not what my passion, where my passion is, and I'm more interested in actually helping society in general. Now my passion is about sustainability in particular, and yes, so that's me. And let's talk now about service design. And usually I'm telling students about this topic, breaking it apart. So if we think about what service is, and I guess if some of you are confused with the term service design, then probably with the term service, you are not confused, because we are receiving services every day, different kind of services, and that's something what is not really tangible. It's something intangible, but it's something where where money actually is involved in some kind of way. So this is also some kind of, it's related to business field as well. And these are 3 guys, real ones, Edgars, Ronalds, and Arturs. And actually, all of them, they have something in common. And maybe you can, I know this is kind of kindergarten question, but still. So what is common to Edgars, who is teacher, Ronalds, who is, he's working in postal service, and Arturs is a hairdresser. So please speak up. What is common for these 3 guys, besides that they are male?
They are
Yes?
providing something.
Yeah, actually, yes, providing service particularly, because Edgars, he's a teacher and he's providing educational service, and I'm also responsible about educational service here working in Kuldīga. Ronalds is also delivering service like postal service, and Arturs is providing kind of beauty service, if we can say, hairdresser. And definitely we, as a clients, we have something to tell. Is it good or bad service what we are receiving? As the students, probably you can also evaluate and give feedback about service what you are getting as students from university. So these are service providers. And then, of course, these were these three guys. They were representatives of physical service, like education, and even education can be also taught online and digital way. Like I would say, hairdresser, at least not until now, that I don't see anyone who would deliver this service in digital ways. So for hairdresser, I think it's safe not to move to technology. But this is Latvia.lv, and this is example of we can discuss, is it good or bad service, but it's a digital service. And do you have experience with Latvia.lv? I don't see any faces or something.
Yes.
Yes. So tell me, who said yes? Tell me, what did you do there?
Oh, I have done what? Oh, actually, there's this. When you log into places, you can do that through Latvia LV, or I think when you assign to stipendies as well, or you want to see some data from that's kind of connected to government about yourself.
Yes. And
Yeah.
was it difficult or was it easy and intuitive? And
Mostly
how you find
intuitive,
it? Okay.
but some parts I think could be more like developed better.
Yeah, I think it depends how you are entering actually the service. I think if you are entering the service through some hyperlink, maybe if somebody sent you that for a stipendium scholarship, you have to go through this kind of link, then maybe it's easier. If you have to find it, just like clicking Latvia.lv and then try to find scholarship, at least I haven't applied for scholarship or something, but for me, usually if somebody says me, oh, you can do it in Latvia.lv, I'm like always, oh my God, now it will take like at least half an hour to really understand where it is and where to find something and how really to do it, because it's pretty complicated. But of course, also like these e services, what they have to join, these are so many of them, they have to do it here. So of course it's really complicated task actually to make it simple and intuitive and user friendly. So I think that they are I hope that they are are going into good direction, because I think they are also sometimes improving something, and I hope they do. Okay, then let's talk a little bit about business. I'm not really a business person, you are. But if we think about GDP and Latvia in general, usually I'm showing this slide also to my art students because they don't know anything about GDP and how it's related. But it is this actually demonstrates how money-wise, how service sector, how big it is. And in every country, it of course differs. But as we can see also here in Latvia, then it's growing. It's I think this is from 2020, the numbers. But as you can see, actually services are the ones who are making the turnover of our money. So this is big part of our life, big part of our money, and we can see that this is also an area where where, for example, our students as service design students can afterwards find a job. Yes, and if we talk about how complicated service can be, then this is an example from this, I don't know how to say in English, maybe you know, it's what, yearly declaration, or I don't know, income declaration, probably like that. And I think it's, I was looking actually for recent ones because I'm sure that it's not so complicated anymore as it was in 2020. But as you can see here, we can see that actually the service is not very intuitive if you need to actually explain it in, and it contains so many steps. So, and these governmental services, this is something what actually we see how good they are and how bad they are, because yearly declaration, then it takes time and it's pretty complicated. But actually, I would say that this is a few years ago. I was giving it last year, and it was pretty easy. So just shows that how complicated and how easy things can be. And what about other word in this combination of two words, service design? What about other word, design? Maybe it's even complicated than services, because design is something what we hear quite often, but I think if we would ask people on the street what design is, I think we would get pretty many answers. And when I was studying like product design and furniture design, then I was thinking about that design as something different than I'm thinking about design at the moment. And I would say design is, it's not anymore, oh no, I will tell in Latvian, not anymore lietvārds, but darbības vārds. I'm always mixing these words in English, so that's why I'm saying in Latvian. So actually it's action, at least in service design, something what we think about design is action actually. And as you can read here, it's about improving human experience. And yes, humans are always the ones to whom we are designing the services, the products, and etc. But now I will tell you a little bit about some examples. Do you know this juicer? Have you seen this?
No.
No. Have somebody seen it?
I mean, the idea that you like put a lemon on top of something and you just rotate it, I mean, that type of, yeah, but this one that looks like a spaceship, most definitely not.
Not, okay, because it's actually from design perspective, like product design perspective, this is the most famous juicer in the world, and it's a design icon, and it has received all the possible prizes, and it's still in production, and my students checked, it costs 70 euros. So this is something, and also Philip Stark, that's like, I would say he is the god of product design, because Philip Stark is the one who was, he have designed products starting from sneakers to the juicer and toothbrush and whatever. So he's French designer. And, but the story here is about this juicer, because as I said, it has received a lot of different prizes, because it looks like sculpture. It's kind of functional sculpture. But it also has received the worst design prize. And actually this worst design prize, it received because they have different sizes as well. And one of this particular size, but made from golden plated material. So it's golden plated. And that particular juicer received this worst design prize because you cannot actually squeeze the lemon on top of this golden plated juicer, because then it got cancerogen and you can actually get sick drinking this juice. So that's why it's the worst design prize, because it's non-functional at all. Yes, so this is about product design, how it used to be. I would say that product design is changing also through the years, and also in product design, we talk a lot about sustainability, about materials, about waste, about taking into the parts, because when you are utilizing your product, you have to take it in the parts and put it in the particular rubbish bin, I would say, in this very easy words. So this is about how design could be also non-functional. And this is how, this is a real sketch from Philip Stark, how when he was designing this juicer, the design process of making it real. So actually he was sitting in the restaurant and was drawing some sketches. And that was also something what I was learning when I was studying furniture design. Like the last part was about functionality, you know. First thing what you were thinking about was, I need to design chair, which is very beautiful, which is attractive, what nobody have ever seen. And then when you are actually making the first prototypes, then you are trying out and giving to some people to test. And then you just see, is it comfortable or not? And if it's not comfortable, still you are like, okay, but it's so beautiful. Let's produce it because it's so beautiful. And even if it's not so comfortable, still you can manage to sell it. So that's how product design actually worked a few years ago. So I wanted to show you how different product design is from service design, because we never think about user in the last moment, I would say. And here we come to the topic about design thinking. What somebody from you, I'm sorry, I don't remember names and I cannot see them now, but somebody, a few of the girls thought that they have heard design thinking, and probably maybe already you are using it in some designing something, your ideas or something. So what design thinking is, that we are placing actually the human or user, we are placing in the first row, and it's not about aesthetics or about how beautiful it is and how many people are going to like it or not like it. It's about actually solving problems that people are having. And yes, it's also written here, so problem solving, actually, this is the first thing for design thinking. And this is, I love this picture. It's not very good quality, but actually shows what users are wanting. And if we compare this juicer, and that's here could be this landscape architect who have drawn that path in the park or in the city planning could be like this way. Actually, people are showing that it's not user friendly, and they always will make this the shortest way. If, for example, if they're having some problems with walking, or if they're bringing something heavy, then for sure they will take the shortcut, and they don't care actually what designers have had in their minds designing the city planning. So if you remember Philip Stark's napkin from the restaurant, with his juicer idea. So in service design, also in design thinking, the process is so that we are discovering things, and we discover the theme, we discover the problems or challenges user is having, then we are defining what actually is the main problem we want to solve. And then we are doing the rest, ideate and prototype and test to really make it user-friendly and usable, and also testing it. Is it really, have we really thought about every detail? And so it's very different, the process, how it is in product design, especially if we compare design process from early times, because I'm sure that product designers today, I was speaking with senior product designer from IKEA last week, and definitely they also have changed the way how they are designing things today, designers, product designers. And this is our famous double diamond. And if you saw the books, what Aris sent you, then we are referring to these double diamonds also in design thinking, also in service design, because design thinking is the main methodology in service design, and double diamond is something what we are referring on. And do you know double diamond?
No.
No? No, I'm curious, but I cannot see them. So I don't have a pointer or anything. I also cannot move the arrow. But if we think from the left side, where is like this first point, which is on the left side, this would be the point where user is and where his problems are. And this is the starting point of our process. And then there is this convergent way of thinking, of doing things. So we are gathering a lot of information and everything what we know. And we are gathering, and do you see me or you don't? You see only screen, the presentation?
We see you.
Okay, so I can move my hands to express myself. So actually we are opening up, and that's why there are these double diamond, there are in this shape, then you're opening up, then you are closing down, you're opening up again, and then you are closing down. So in the beginning, you are opening up and you are gathering a lot of information, as much as possible, and then you are closing it down, because you are narrowing it to one particular challenge what you are going to solve. And then you are opening up again when you are ideating and trying to find as many possible ideas or solutions for your problem. And then you are closing down again when you are receiving this one particular outcome, what you're going to test and implement. So that's why this is double diamond shape. So opening up, closing, and it's linear. So it starts from the left and ends on the right. So this is the way how you can understand double diamond. And somebody says you, do you know double diamond? You can always say, yes, I know. They understand it perfectly. So first phase is discover, then define, develop, and deliver. So as easy as it is. But of course, as we know, the design process also, it's not so strict and systematic as it is on the screen or on some kind of diagrams. It can be messy, and in real life, it looks like this. So you are getting ideas, then you are working in the team, and you're getting new ideas, and sometimes you think that your head will blow up, but at the end, everything ends good, and you have one fantastic idea what you are implementing. And design process in service design looks like this. A lot of post-it notes, group work, because in service design, I believe that group work is something what really works in the best way, because you need to discuss, you need some changing of ideas, and some discussion actually is very important. It's also good to have different knowledge in your group, because somebody maybe is very good in I don't know, media, somebody is very good in strategy, somebody is very good in business, because you have to validate your ideas, you have to understand are they feasible or not. And then somebody maybe is very good designer, because it has this possibility or skills to actually, I don't know, make good presentations. So service design actually is teamwork. And about different backgrounds they are bringing in the team on the table, bringing a lot of knowledge what can help solving different problems. Here I can refer to our students, because they're coming, as I told you, coming from all around the world. One is this cultural background, what they're having, but another thing is that the background, professional background, what they're having. For example, we are having students with law background, from business, from social science. We have criminology, psychologist from Italy, and a politician from Kosovo. So there are a lot of different backgrounds what can be very useful in different projects. For example, as for architecture or interior architecture, because service, many cases, is also about location and environment, how you are providing service actually in physical environment. So these kind of knowledges brings kind of fruitful discussion in the team. And design, because if I come back to that topic, design thinking, because double diamond is something what we use in design thinking, and then this is, I think, famous topic in 2015 when Harvard Business Review published actually design thinking as a methodology for business. Yes, for business people. So actually from this moment, people start to use and talk about design thinking outside design world. And we know that design thinking is used in actually every companies and every different setups and so on. And finally, about service design. So these are, I will of course tell more about service design particularly, and what actually service design is having kind of description now, but what is service design, what kind of issues are having as a discussion and also description. So we will come to this later on, but this is something where we are talking about user needs. We are designing service components. We are designing, we can design organization, we can design strategies, we can design very specific things like navigation or, I don't know, environment and so on. So, but the main idea is to meet needs of user, of a service provider, no, service like a customer and service provider. So this service design is actually working with two fields, with the user and the service provider. And both of these stakeholders have to be satisfied at the end. So this is service design. And I have lovely video. I hope you can hear the sound. Let's try and then let's see if you hear the sound. No. So did you hear the sound?
No sound for us.
No sound.
You can send the link of the video and we can just watch it for
Yes.
1 minute, and that's gonna be
How,
easier.
okay.
Right click on your screen, or at the top right it says share, or
Oh
that
my
also
God,
works.
no, I did. Yeah, but okay. Right. So where do I?
Right click on, or double click as it's a Mac on the screen. Yeah, there. Perfect.
Okay, share.
Yeah, you can do that. And then
No.
interesting.
You can
Probably
just
more.
copy the link at the top, like when you escape the full screen.
So I have.
And the
Yes.
the top link, yes, this one. Copy that and you can put that in the chat.
Yes. Back to chat. Where is chat?
Right
To
side.
the right.
Okay. Okay. So I wait for you to see the video.
This is Fred. Fred is waiting for the bus. He's been waiting for quite a bit, but he doesn't know when the bus will arrive, if it will ever arrive, and he can't even sit anywhere, and if it rains. Try to imagine if the bus stop had a bench where he can sit under a shelter for the rain and a display with bus timetables. Look how happy Fred is now. And now, try to imagine if Fred could download an app on his smartphone which allows him to check the timetable of all buses in the city, organize his journey, and know when the bus he has to take is going to arrive. In this case, Fred wouldn't be forced to go out sooner than he needed. This is an example of service design. Service design is what makes the difference between a bad day and a good day. Service design aims to design with intent, looking at any problem with the eyes of the users. Service design aims to provide simplicity, clarity, and functionality to the users, creating a better experience, big benefits, and oh, Fred has finally arrived to his destination, which might also be yours if you want to know something more about service design. Find out more at
Well, seems like Riga Statics man has only a couple of steps they need to go through.
Yes, almost there. So you hear me and you see my screen back.
Yes.
Back in normal.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. So, so basically, I think even though this was advertisement for London College or something like that, I think this is pretty well explaining actually what we in service design are doing. So we are thinking about how to improve, and as you said, Ring Statics is almost there, so pretty well. But about history now, a little bit about history, because I think it's also good to know how old service design is. Is it really old or not? So this is the awful picture, and always apologizing for the students showing it. But this is only picture what we have from Lynn Shostak, and we call her like godmother or grandmother of service design. And in 82, imagine how long time ago, she brought service design in from marketing industry to kind of public, and actually started to talk about how we can improve service designer firstly mentioned these two words as service and design. And then in 1991, in Cologne, in Germany, in Cologne Technical University, was established, not established, but this was the first service design program was established. And when we were designing our SDSI program in Kuldīga, then we worked actually with Birgit Mager, who is also, we call her grandmother of service design. She is the one who established this academic program in KISD, and we worked with her establishing ours. So we know the lady, and she's passionate about service design and still running different kind of activities to promote service design, and I will tell later on what she's also doing. But LifeWorks, this is the first service design studio or agency, and it's still running, and it's huge. It works in London. In London is one office. I think they have many offices all around the world. And yes, they call themselves service design agencies. As we know, in Latvia, we have a lot of advertisement agencies. And yes, I think advertisement agencies we have the most, but as we can see, there is also service design agencies in the world, and we have McKinsey, we have Frog, we have Fjord, and LifeWorks. I think these are the biggest ones what I just called. And then Service Design Network. This is the one actually I wanted to tell you when I was mentioning Birgit Mager, and she actually stands there at the totally end of the room next to the computers, standing there in this white sweater. So we have as a network for all the service designers, we are having this network, and it's very active. Every year we are having the conferences, global conferences, and we are meeting each other, and it really feels like family there. And also in next week, from 1st to 3rd of March, there is going to be Service Design Jam through all around the world, and also in Kuldīga, our students are making one spot. We will have Service Design Jam as well here in Latvia. So yes, service designers are very kind of very friendly community, and they help each other, and they know each other, and they meet each other. So this is really nice, nice community to be in. And then if we talk more about history, then as you know, actually today we talk about service economy, and it means that actually also from this proof was our GDP that shows that services are the ones who are making this biggest turnover. So service economy actually shows us that services are the ones whom we are using the most, and our economy is driven by services. And we also see that there is this tendency to move from product to service. That product is not anymore the main thing, but actually the services. I think there are pretty many different examples, and I'm sure you can call out and shout for some which you know. Maybe, yes, maybe we can discuss. So do you know any example where we see that product moves, the service moves away from product?
Phones, I swear to God. Everything that is happening nowadays, like a couple of years ago, you were you were able to repair anything and do anything you want with your phone, but nowadays everything is either software locked, you need like iCloud, you need Spotify, whatever, it just provides other different services. And overall, yeah, basically a phone is a great way to summarize a lot of it.
You can even not smoke anymore proper cigarettes. You are part of the service with IQOS, this electric cigarettes. I think this is also part of service system. It's not anymore product, but it's a whole system. What we are, if for those who are smoking it, we are part of the whole system, and it's not about anymore. Like when I was a kid, I remember like what you need fridge, you need TV, and you need car, and then you are kind of okay for some years. At the moment, if you have TV, you don't see anything there without Netflix or Apple TV subscription. So only black box. So this just shows how dependent we are from all this system. Yes, and about principles now. So let's see what time is. Yes. I have a question before we start about principles. So every hour you take some break, or how are you used
It's
to?
as we want. If we feel like a break, we can take a break.
Okay.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay. So I think we can still go on. So about principles. So first of all, I think already I mentioned quite a lot, and I think it's quite obvious that service design is human-centered, and these are very different examples about how also in old times we had products which were human-centered, and how different they can be. Still, they are human-centered. And the next principle, which maybe is not so obvious, is co-creative. And here I have in Latvian, I have like diagram or a schematic drawing about how, if we don't think about service design in this double diamond principle, but as a timetable, then here actually we can see there are three these circles, and these are the moments when we are doing co-creation sessions. They could be less, they could be more, but these three are kind of in normal design, a service design project. We would have 3 co-creation sessions during the project. So first one, the question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, can you
Yes.
guide us through all of this with an example so we understand, like maybe some process that you went through?
Yes, I will have later on some case studies, but at the moment it's only about this co-creation. But you will see. Really, believe me, I have samples for you. But if for here, what we can see that the first these 3 arrows, these are for research, and this is where we are looking for evidences. We are talking with users. We are, and here I want to tell that user is not only who receives the service. User is also the person who is giving the service, because they are both users. And human-centered means that we are interested not only in the service receiver, but also on the provider, because it's also human being there. So when we are doing the research, we are looking for all different kind of evidences, challenges. We are looking for quantitative and qualitative data, and so on. But at some point, we need to understand which way we actually have to go. So that's why there is happening this first co-creation session. And co-creation means that we are having a workshop where many different stakeholders are taking part. And we are analyzing these data, what is coming from research, and we are understanding which challenges are the ones we have to concentrate and we have to like take eye on, and which we have really to solve. So this is the time when workshop is happening, when service designers are the ones who are facilitating the workshop. They are not taking part in the workshop, but they are facilitating the workshop, and they are getting different methods, of course, using and gathering information and actually distillating all the information what they gathered before. And then they work further, and then they are again coming back into service design team and understanding, so okay, this challenge, so what kind of directions could be. They are also defining the, you will hear as well term, how might we, that's our service design term, how might we do something. So in Latvian it would be darba uzdevums, or so task, what will be, what are you going to work further. And then we are actually preparing for next co-creation session, and that's ideation workshop, where again we are inviting different stakeholders. Sometimes we invite as well designers, because we need also some innovation in the around the table. So it's not only stakeholders, also maybe some other industry representatives or somebody who can actually bring some innovation in the event. So this is the second part. Then we are already having again this darba uzdevums, but this is already about product, kind of product or service, how it will look like. And then could be the next co-creation when we have again somebody, for example, from implementation team, like who would know about some specific technology or some specific knowledge about how to implement this kind of idea that was created before, and how it could work really in this provided environment. So it could be as well some testing there could happen in this co-creation session, some testing, some maybe improvements of previous ideas and so on. So so these are the, yes, co-creation with stakeholders, and this is something very important for service design, and we cannot skip these parts, because we need also some validation also from users, from different users. As I said, it's not only the users, these are the also service providers. And as you will see in some examples, when we talk about stakeholders, it's not only these two parts. There are so many actually actors who are involved in ecosystem if we talk about some services. Yes, and this is how, yes, co-creation is happening. Actually, this is a picture from one of our summer schools. I will tell you also later about them. As you can see, Legos, post-it notes, creative thinking on the wall, on the floor. So this is how actually things are happening when we are co-creating something. Sequencing. And here is another picture just to tell you how different service design can be and how different methods we use and different time-wise, how service design can happen. So if you remember double diamond, so there is sequence. Definitely there is sequence. Firstly you do research, then you define the problem, then you are ideating, and then you are testing and implementing. But it also can be very long. It can happen like 2 years. The project can happen, but there is very actually widely used time frame is design sprint, and there is pluses and minuses about this short-term happening, I could say. because it's very short. So we don't have actually time to gather enough information. Sometimes we don't have enough time maybe to digest and to spend some time for real ideas and to be really creative and to gather maybe some ideas as well from different stakeholders and so on. But still, this is the format how we can do things, and this is 5 days, 5 days workshop, where first day, Monday, you are understanding, so doing actually the research, and you are, but usually for these design sprints, the team is getting prepared, and design sprint can happen only with preparation works. If the preparation works are done, then a design sprint can happen. It cannot happen from the blank. So, but at the end, in 5 days, actually, you can get the result going through this kind of methodology or sequence again. So things can be done very nicely also in 5 days. Maybe not big things, but for small problems, small challenges, it's very possible to use. And another principle is iterative. And what does it mean? It means that we can always return or come back, or at some point, for example, let's say you are already somewhere in ideation phase, and you understand that you are missing some very important information. It's not that the team is saying, hey, stop, no, you cannot, research is done, we go further. No. In service design, if you need more information, if you need more time to understand, is it really this idea could work or not, it's possible to do again, to return to research phase and let's say, have some interviews with users and so on. But I guess this is something that I don't have to really too much explain, because I think it's quite understandable. If you are needing something, then you can always mix up and so on. So service design is iterative, and that's it. And evidencing, yes, this is a very important point. So we cannot do without evidences anything. So we cannot go and skip, for example, one double diamond from double diamond, one diamond, we cannot skip and go on with ideation, because on kind of our assumptions or something, we need to have, and this first diamond is maybe sometimes even more important than the second one, because we need evidence that something is happening, there are some challenges, there are some needs, and so on. And for research, we have tons of methods. If we look in this big book, not the small one, but big book, then you will see that actually research part is the I would say the biggest one, because there are many ways how we can gather data. And there, as I said, there are these quantitative data, what different methods, what are coming from social science, like I don't know, some surveys and some data which are gathered by a company itself. Let's say something what you can get already what is gathered before. And then, of course, this qualitative data, which is coming from focus group interviews. Yes.
I'm really sorry that but I have to say it.
Yes.
Your earring is clicking against your microphone.
My what is clicking?
Earring.
Ah, really? Sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good. Thank you that you said, because I think, yes. even though earrings for me are very important in this case, I think they are.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And you are, and you, since you are my users, it's important to let me know. Yes. So anyway, I stopped with qualitative data. So we need to talk with our users. We need to make interviews. Sometimes these are focus groups interviews when there are many people who are talking with you and you talk about some particular thing and they have discussion and you as a service designer are listening and just facilitating, moderating these discussions. So this is something what you also can get data. Then there are different ways to get more data, like shadowing, like service safaris, for example, when you are actually going through some service and get like writing down what is happening, like from points, and actually seeing how it works or not, and which parts are lacking, or and so on. So there are many different ways how we can get data about challenges. And then of course we are doing this kind of research walls. I always say it's something like FBI or CSI, this TV series where you see all those walls with the evidences and so on. So also for service designers, we have these research walls with evidences and some artifacts which are there. So you can actually align all the team on the same page and you all agree what is happening. And then you are yes?
I think you can finish and then I'll ask if this is it.
Sorry?
Okay, well, when you were speaking about this research, I was wondering two things, like the biggest what are the biggest mistakes you can do when doing this research? And the second thing is like how to summarize and get the information, like how to overview it. Because when we were doing the developing by experimenting and we have lots of information and then like putting it all together and making some insights, I think it's so messy. And then again, like with all of our biases and assumptions, it's like how to do it sort of right.
I would say there are many many different aspects what is important. First of all, service design is very systematic, and you will also have a homework to do some systematic work. And I think this systematic work actually is the one answer to your question, because you have, for example, if you are doing research about stakeholders, then you are actually mapping them out in certain template. You are mapping all the stakeholders, and it's not only stakeholders, you are also putting them in different relationship, for example, to the user. You can add there some challenges or some questions and so on. Then we have these personas and so on. I will explain you more about this methodology, but if you are doing it properly and if you are putting in the right way your collective data, then I think it's easier to afterwards to work with that. And then another thing what we do, as I said, there is this co-creation analysis, co-analysis session. And if you as a service designer have prepared your research and you have prepared for this analysis session and you know what you want, you have some hypothesis about what is the main things. And then you are validating them with stakeholders. So this gives you some kind of proof that these are the outcome of your research and that you are going the right direction. Without users' perspective, actually it's very assumption based, because you are you can always go in the wrong direction. that's why we are having these co-creation sessions with the users time to time, just to understand that we are on the right path. Did I answer to your question?
Yes, and actually when you were speaking, I got another question.
Yes.
I think we're all the time talking about like users, but if you have a different, if customer and a user, they are different personas, is there some part of service design which also looks at the customer, like how to make it appealing to them?
Can you maybe explain me a bit better how customer and user are different personas?
Well, yeah, like the simplest one is like Robert said, toys. It's like kids are not buying them, they're using them. And also it's for some like, I don't know, subscriptions maybe as well. And also for our product that we want to create something for hackathon teams. Well, the hackathon participants will be using it, but the buyers actually are the organizers. So is there some service design step that looks also at the customers and how to make it appealing to them and their like pain points?
Yes, I guess here we see that personas, what we use this term in service design, it's something different what you know from your previous experience. Because for us, personas are actually these users and customers and everything in the same time, and they can be very different. For example, you said the toys. I would say there are two personas. One are kids, one are parents with kids, and they will be totally two different personas, and they will have totally different description, different challenges, different point of view, and so on. And that's why when we are doing service design, we have many different personas. Like, for example, yesterday we were speaking about, sometimes, for example, persona can be also organization itself. It's not always a person or people. Persona can be also organization, because as organization or institution, you can also have some challenges or pain points, and it may differ from employees, for example. So it's a bit complicated, but I hope that at some point, maybe at the end of my presentation, or maybe at the end of this course, after you will do personas, so maybe you will understand what I mean.
So
or
as
maybe,
I understand, as I understand, we just, if this is the case, like we have different users and customers, then we just set more personas.
Yes, exactly. And personas, there are no limit for a number of personas, because, for example, when we had a project with Children's Hospital, we had different personas for emergency part, and then we had different personas for polyclinics, and for emergency there were different personas, like for example, parents with kids, parents with babies, kids who coming from sports school, for example, who are receiving some who have done who had some accident and so on. So there are many different, and it depends if these kind of, because when you are doing personas, they have something in common, and sometimes it's age, sometimes it's sex, sometimes it's the way how they're receiving some treatment or whatever it is. So it depends on really on the case. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I guess we'll understand more when we
I think
ourselves.
it's pretty, and actually to do the right way personas, it's always discussion in the team, because when you are defining personas, it's a big topic. It's not easy, because you are analyzing your research, analyzing your interviews, and then you are understanding which kind of segment of people are this persona and which are others, or maybe it's even, as I said, institution or something else. So it really depends project to project. It's really complicated thing. So to finalize this research topic, so you can see here there are some names. You can find them. Actually, this is from the book. This graphic is from the book. And so you see that at the end of this first diamond, you get key insights, and you can see here that it's not one, there are few, 7 exactly. So there are many insights, and at that point, it's good to maybe make some co-creation session and understand maybe which are the most important ones. And it's not always that you have to go to ideation with only one insight or one challenge. You can have few and then see during ideation maybe which works better or not. So it's still kind of under the process. Okay, let's go further. And then the last one is holistic. So in service design, what is very important, we talk about service in general. We see all the service. It's not of course, we can zoom in some particular thing. For example, here, this is example from Starbucks. This is service design blueprint. It's the most complicated thing to do. You will not have to do it because you can do, of course, if at some point you feel like doing it, but it is really complicated because you have to think about different layers. One is from user's perspective, another layer is from service provider's point of view. So this is kind of putting everything together as a one spider net. And it just shows that we are looking for this for holistic view of the service, not only from some particular thing. But actually, when sometimes when we are doing service design projects, sometimes we are having this one service blueprint, and then we can pick up, for example, here, I don't know, let's see which one. Order online and get the bonus star. Maybe let's leave order online. We could, for example, zoom in this particular point and make another service blueprint only about this ordering online, and there would be another service blueprint, another challenges. For example, if we would look for UX from UX perspective, like really understanding how intuitive is application app at that moment. So this would be another layer of general service design project, and it would be particularly only for the app and functionality of the app. Okay. Yes, and now let's talk about examples. What about short break?
I think.
Yep, let's go.
Yep.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Let's do 7.5.
So we return to 25.
Yeah, let's just return to 25. That's gonna be wonderful.
Okay, so let's do it.
So are we all back or not?
Tell me because I don't see you.
Well, Ralph isn't here. Carlos and Jacob still is at their smoke break.
Okay, let's wait 1 minute more. I need to share with you one more video link. That's why I'm doing this crazy stuff. So are we back?
I think so. I don't know what's happening in co-working, but maybe you can comment.
Still, none of them are back, but we can just start. Oh, well, Ralph is here. Smoke breakers are on their smoke break, but we can start.
But I have to. Oh, where is my presentation? Sorry, I lost my presentation.
It's okay.
Where is it? No. Okay. Now back to you. So share screen. Okay, so all good? Let's continue. So now I want to little bit explain and to show some examples and case studies what we had in different different lengths from this design sprint time wise, like 5 days design sprint way, how we did things, and then longer projects. So the first example what I want to share is with you is when actually we were developing this service design study program. We understood that service design in Latvia is not really common thing, and that we rarely understand what service design is, and that we need actually to promote this discipline, yes. So we created summer school, and we run it twice a year or once a year, depended on the year. And we agreed with Latvia's Post that this will be our first kind of trial and trial rabbit, that we will try out this service design methodology to actually the big service provider here in Latvia. And we invited Stefan Moritz in this yellow hoodie He's CEO from McKinsey, service design agency in Stockholm. And he's a very good friend of mine. And so we convinced him to come here and to promote actually service design to Latvians and to some organizations. And Latvia's Post was the first one. So we invited different stakeholders from Latvia's Post. And we also invited designers and Art Academy students. So we had kind of really big bunch of people who were dealing with Latvia's Post challenges. And they also came from Latvia's Post, quite many people here. They came incognito. So it means that Latvia's Post, this postal service here in Kuldīga, they didn't know that the leads from Latvia's Post are coming to Kuldīga, and they actually did some service safari or shadowing to in the Latvia's Post, this small, how we say it? Nodaļa, pasta nodaļa, Latvijas Posta nodaļa. Department, yes, we can say local department of Latvia's Post. So they went there and they discovered that there are big lines and people are standing there in big lines and what's happening. And they were a bit shocked about what they discovered. They also did, because they were working, I think, in 3 teams or 4 teams, and one team, so one team went to this department in Kuldīga. One team, they start to look for complaints in social media and also on some other complaint homepages where you can see complaints, and try to understand what people are really fed up with, some things from Latvia's Post and so on. So it was interesting things were happening there, and here you can see very serious because there is this Lego serious play. That's the name of prototyping, Lego prototyping set. But actually here you can see that how serious it is to play with Lego. And this team, they were the ones who went to this department and they saw the lines. So first they were thinking that the problem is actually in the environment and planning of the postal department. But then at the end, when they start to talk with people and start to really discovering why the lines were so long there, they discovered that this this machine or whatever, this queue, these numbers where you are getting out these numbers for the queue, that in that year, 2017, it was the same. It was programmed the same in all departments in all the Latvia. So every department had the same possibilities to choose, like, I don't know, receive the parcel, just to talk, like to send something, and so on and so on. So they were the same. And then after this summer school, they discovered that actually every department in Latvia have little bit different users, personas. At this point, that here in Kuldīga, a user is senior, the main user is senior, and that they don't need these different options. What, for example, in Riga, in some departments they need. So this is kind of invention for them, that every department needs a little bit different, slightly different possibilities to choose options for users for this ticket machine. So actually, the problem is about ticket machine, not about environment or planning or places where to sit and so on. So simple as that. And another team which were discovering and looking for the complaints from Latvia's Post users, they discovered that people were disappointed that they couldn't find tracking possibilities that Latvia's Post homepage, of course, they were providing this possibility to track your parcel. But at the end, people were not able to find it in this pretty complicated homepage, and that actually this is the most common thing what users are looking for in this homepage. So as a result, again, after this design sprint methodology, they put it again. I cannot show you any because my cursor doesn't work, but it's here now. It's here, and everybody sees it already in the first page. When you open Latvia's Post homepage, you immediately see where to find this tracking your parcel. Before it was hidden somewhere, probably under this private persona, for example, and so on. So again, small thing, but very, very important for the Latvia's Post users. And the third team, we're presenting something kind of surprising, and we were all thinking that it's not possible because it was so innovative for that 2017. It's like nothing like 5 years ago. But the idea was so that instead of this Omnibus and DPD and so on, where you can receive packages, that there would be post box where you actually can also send your parcel at home. So they call it Wise Post Box or something like that. In 2017, we thought that it's like crazy idea, really crazy. But as we know that I think 2 years ago, they actually introduced this idea, and I think it's not very common, but it is possible to pay for this service, and it's possible for you to, for those who are having Etsy these accounts and who are working with Etsy, this selling the goods and so on. So actually they are having this possibility to send the post boxes and parcels from their home. And yes, ta-da, this is how it happens. Like first you have crazy idea and then you think that it won't ever be possible to implement, but then at some point it makes sense and actually it's possible. So this is about Latvia's Post. Then we had another story about education. It was, I think, 2 years after. Our client was Ministry of Culture and high schools of, not universities, but high schools, with schools of art and music, and they are 14 in Latvia. I don't mean here these simple art schools, which are pretty plenty of them in Latvia, but these are the ones who are actually giving you kind of diploma. So they are only 14. These were our clients, and that time in this summer school we also had some guests. For example, there is in the middle Liena Drāzniece, which is Mother's, one of the owners, and she was interested in service design, particularly how service design can be used. That's why she participated in this summer school. But the rest of the participants were from these schools. Also, one of participants were from ministry. But what is important here, if you see in the middle, up in the middle, there is a poster with arrows, with a kind of cross, and in the middle there is a girl in a ballet dress. If you look carefully, you will see her. So I want to tell you a story about this challenge, because one of participants of this summer school was Rīgas choreography school, and they are preparing ballerinas for Rīgas opera and ballet. theater. And the challenge what they brought to this summer school was that when girls are entering the school, they are like 7, maybe 10 years old. And then at some point when puberty starts, they start to change, the body starts to change. And sometimes when the girl is small and tiny and perfectly fitting for to be the ballerina, at some point when she's 13 or 14, she's not anymore in this, because they have quite strict rules how ballerinas should look like. So this was a challenge. And for example, imagine the girl who is spending her and dreaming big about being ballerina and being on the stage. At some point, you understand that it's not going to be true for you. So after this very, very emotional research phase, when they were calling, because there was the head of this school was also participating here, and she pointed out this challenge, and then they did research, and they had phone call interviews with the girls who graduated the school and were not on the stage. They appeared to dance in cabarets and on these cruise ships, for example, which is, as you can see, slightly different than to be on the stage. So what to do? And it was very nice summer school with very nice result, and that they had idea to introduce for these girls another study program. So instead of being ballerinas and to learn how to ballet and this classical dance, they had idea to start to teach contemporary ballet, contemporary dance, where actually it's not so important how you look like, because it could be as well kind of bigger figures and body types for contemporary dance. So when they introduced this program after 2 years after this summer school, they have already a few years of graduations, and the girls are really nice dancers, and they in a way, this is how you can still be dancer and prestige dancer, not a dancer in a cabaret or a cruise ship. So this is kind of, I remember always this story as a very emotional case study and emotional experience, because for the team it was really heavy to listen for those stories, and believe me, they were crying, also the team members and also the ones who were interviewed. But the outcome is super nice, and it's still running. This contemporary dance program is still running, and there are not only those girls who are coming from ballet who for some reason cannot continue ballet program, but also they are having girls who are coming just and applying only for this contemporary dance. So this is a nice way how to solve the challenge. Yes, and these are happy participants. And then very nice story is Kids for Kids. It's also a very special one, because in parallel of this Latvijas Pasts summer school with Stefan, we did another one for kids. And we had 10 or 11 kids. There were fewer from Riga, fewer from Kuldīga, and then also Stefan brought his kids from Stockholm. So we had international team of kids. They were from 6 to 11 years old, and they had their first experience talking in English because they were working, their work language were English. So it was really nice to see how they were understanding actually what service design is and how service design works and what is methodology. But we were working with Kuldīgas Hospital. They have children's department in Kuldīgas Hospital. So our little service designers were going to Kuldīgas Hospital, and for 1 week doing the same thing what adults were doing in Latvijas Bus workshop. And the first thing was research. And here you can see that this is Elsa from Stockholm. Elsa was getting to know what actually means to be in hospital, because some of the kids, they had experience with the doctors, but not in the hospital. And they were talking also with the small kids who were patients at that time in the hospital, and understanding why they are there and what are their main challenges, and discovering that actually to be in hospital is pretty boring. It's scary because you don't know what's going to happen. And this is a service journey map, user journey map, how accident happened and how the kid get to the hospital. So when you will have to draw journey map, remember this small picture. It also shows how journey can happen. And yes, and at this point I want to share with you video, but since you don't hear the sound, I will put it in the chat. But before I share the video, I will explain that kids were chat. Here. So what did children did? They did research, and then they after research they understood that there are a lot of different and strange things are happening, and not strange but also scary, and that many things are lacking in the hospital. And for example, there were no signs when they were driving to hospital. You don't see the sign. There is only small sign showing that there is hospital, but kids were saying that actually they would love to see something that you feel kind of comfy, that where are you going, and that you don't have to be scared to arrive in the hospital. And then when they are arriving hospital, there were also very plain walls. There was nothing on the walls. It was quite scary. You couldn't understand what's going to happen. All these different tools what doctors are having, they are cold and metal and scary. So this video, what I'm sharing now with you, that's a result after ideation. Kids did prototyping, and everything what is in video, it's not Photoshop or something fictional. Everything is done actually in real prototypes in the hospital. And yeah, you can see the story, how kids would actually like to receive service in the hospital. So yes, there is the link.
and Anna are home. Mom are very worried because Anna are not feeling good. Mom is checking and Anna has very high temperature. She's calling the hospital and Mom says, Anna has very high temperature. What should I do? Then the hospital says, you should come in here and we can make a quickly checkup. Mom and Anna are driving to the hospital. It's very easy to find the hospital because on the road it's a sign where it's standing where the hospital is. And the hospital is also a friendly sign, so Anna is not so scared. Mom and Anna are going into the hospital. In the hospital, it's a very cute sign with cute characters. Anna can see paw prints on the floor and is following them to the kids' hospital. The doctors have said that Anna must be checked of a nurse. The nurse say Anna has lost a lot of liquid and she must be on the drip a little bit. The drip is not so scary because it's hanging a little cute character on the drip. Anna seeing at the room are full of photos and pictures of the characters. They are great for the extraction. Mom and Anna are going to check in. Anna is getting a box where she can collect magazines and toys. Mom are getting slippers and also a magazine where are standing all information that she need.
Anna and her mom is going through the corridor. There's some nice music and some pictures that the other children have drawn for the nurses.
The room where Mom and Anna should sleep is very nice because Mom can fill in a checklist and choose cushion, and also it's a very nice reading lamp and match shelves. They get a nice big pillow and Anna can choose the room.
When Anna goes to sleep, her mom goes to check out the kitchen, and there's some nice microwaves, wine, snacks, and some comfortable chairs, and there's some parents.
But I might have missed it, but question, did all of this actually happen? As in...
Jungle room is very special. It's
Nice,
also
nice. So every time a kid comes to visit, he gets like stuff in a package. Also the parents get a package.
No, you mean, is it really happening and is it implemented? You mean?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Oh, well, that's
It's not,
unfortunate.
no, because the problem is with the, of course, with the money. Because the kids prototyped everything and we had agreement with Lupatini, this Jakobs Niemans, who is a composer of Lupatini, this music. That's why we could use it, and hospital was super happy that we really printed out those big posters of the cat and all those characters. But of course, it's just a paper, you know, it's not real thing, and hospital unfortunately needs money to do this. So, no, unfortunately, no.
Yeah, that was the part that I was thinking about, and at the back of my head, while everything is like being said in the video, like, okay, you need money for that, you need money for that, so it's really a thing that happened.
Yes, but that's about these short design sprint things, because actually you can test that it works, and that's important that we test that it works, but implementation is for the institution or organization. So of course it's very nice if we can have, like architects are having this author, whatever it is, this supervising or something. But yeah, in this case, it was just, you know, a kind of experiment, how actually could be a hospital improved. And let's hope that at some point they will also implement something from that. Yes. So are you all back from the video?
Yes.
Okay, great. So how did you like that part with the wine and the room with wines and fridge? I think that was always when adults are watching this video, everybody is smiling always, especially those who are having kids and who have experience in hospital. They usually smile about this part with the wine, because kids know that parents sometimes need a glass of wine when they are tired. So this was funny part. Yes, but let's continue with my presentation. But what is important again about this story, kid's story, that since I am a lecturer as well in Art Academy, so I thought, okay, I will bring this kids research part to my students, and let's see what happens, because as a product designers you can do things about that. So you remember this, there was a girl who was not complaining, but she said that it would be nice to have some character on this drip, where the medicine is dripping from this, from the bottle. So Lauma Reitere, she is a product designer, and she had idea. She worked with this challenge, and it finalized. This is first prototype, and this is the last prototype, and it got Latvian Design Award. So, and actually is going, I hope, again, it's a very long process to implement it, because it's hospital, and all the materials have to be tested, and they have to be antibacterial and so on. So she brought this problem about this drip and about cold, and that it's unfunctional and so on, to this kind of small mouse idea about super mouse. And the Braun producer Braun, they are having these small bottles where you have medicine inside, and they have pump inside of that. There you can see it's just a drawing here on the right corner, up right corner. But it actually exists, and it's possible to use for this kind of purpose. So she introduced this idea that there is this power mouse which is always with you, and that there is this backpack of the, or not backpack, but this
shoulder bag.
Yeah, actually it was coming from Plasti, so I noticed, because the superheroes, they are having this, you know, thing on the back. So this is
the cape.
Yes, cape. Okay, so cape. Yes, so idea was that there is this cape for this mouse, and that mouse is something what you can attach from this cape as well, and that in the cape there is this pump with the medicine. So, and also it's possible to use on the other way, that you are just putting it up on the drip. But for what is important, it is very important for patients who are having cancer, oncology patients, because they are having 6-7 hours this medical treatment. They have to actually have this 6-7 hours with this stand. If there is no mouse, that there is stand. And with this stand, you have to stay for 6-7 hours during it drips. So you are walking around, for example, going to toilet and so on. So in this case, you are actually having this emotional attachment to this small mouse, but also it's also functional, because then you don't have to have this stand, metallic stand, which is complicated to walk around. So let's hope again that this product is going to be actually introduced. There is this Parents Association in Children's Hospital who are hoping to find finances to implement this product actually in real life. So this is a way how service design actually can bring and transfer to product design, because first you are looking for the service, and then at some point when you are you have tested actually something, then you can already talk and give assignment to product designers or graphic designers or navigation or whatever it is, more very precise task, and then the service makes it more kind of like, you know, fulfilled. Okay, now about process. So Double Diamond, I think I explained pretty much how do we do. So we start with the problem, we start with the challenge, and then we go through all these parts. And how actually looks this discover phase. I mentioned this Children's Hospital as one of our projects. And besides the interviews and something what we can look for, what is called this desktop research, let's sitting at home and just looking what kind of website, what people are complaining and so on. What we also can do, we can also go actually to the place and see what's happening there. And is there, like particularly we were asked by Children's Hospital to research and to discover the problems they are facing. So we were actually collecting all the problems like we saw in the shadowing, or we talk with the patients and we discovered so on. So first one, you see that now in this new building it's not the problem anymore, but before it was so that this emergency car came, and even if it snows or rains or whatever it is outside the weather, you are opening the car, and if it rains, then it rains directly on the top of the kid, for example, if it's lying on the bed. So that was one of the problems. Another one on the right hand, you see that there is very nicely done. They call it metro line on the floor. For example, if you are registered in hospital and you want to go, I don't know, to meet some particular doctor, then the lady would say, okay, this is your document, and now follow the gray metro line, and where you see the number 3, you go out from the building, and then you will see another building, and then you go and meet a doctor. What we discovered here, that actually the parents were, because it was winter and there were these carpets on the number 3, so after carefully looking and discovering, they find where is this number 3 located, but the carpets and metro line on the floor actually doesn't really work together. So this was another problem. But we listed more than 100 problems, so there were quite many. I'm not talking about all of them. But this is another example. On the right-hand side, you can see that some interviews. That was summer school about museums, and this was in Ventspils. So they were talking with actually the museum visitors, and these were from Lithuania, and then they were like complaining about some languages and so on. So there were, a lot of things you can discover when you are talking with people. And then on the left-hand side, you can see the research wall, what I mentioned, and here you can see many things. Actually, you can see some artifacts like maps from museum, and there you can also see and discover maybe some things which are lacking there. For example, I don't know, maybe there are some navigation is missing or whatever, and then some evidences and photo evidences from something, and then something from interviews and so on. So these research walls are the ones which are containing a lot of different information, and this was just a design sprint of a workshop. So the research wall is pretty small and have just basic information, but imagine how big and complicated research wall can look for some like long-term project. And then discover phase. No, I cannot zoom in, but this is when this is what I mentioned you about stakeholders. This is what you will have as well to do in homework. So stakeholder mapping is actually a very important thing when we are doing research, and this is actually one of the first phases. What we are doing, we are understanding who are involved in our project, in the service, who are the main users, who are the secondary users, how they are interacting with each other. Is it one direction interaction or two direction interaction? What are involvement? Because I will share with you probably some examples so you can see them closer, because this is you cannot see here what is there. This is a pretty long-term project for one pharmacy company, what I was doing, and it was very specific diagnosis for asthma patients. What I was discovering why this type of asthma is not diagnosed enough in Latvia, and of course, if I met some of my friends who are doctors, then they were like, they made big eyes and saying like, what you don't know anything about medicine, how can you do something here? But this is the way how we as service designers are working. Even we don't know anything about the field, we are facilitating all this process, and we are finding out who are, for example, the users and who are the stakeholders. And we do interviews, and actually for the work what we have to do, we got enough information to do it. We don't have to be doctors or I don't know, postal delivery men or whatever. So it's a question about how we do research, how we understand the topic and the problem. Yes, and then personas, so what we mentioned here. In Latvian, since you all know Latvian, I didn't translate anything. But again, this is from the same asthma project. So I don't remember now exactly how many personas, but there were different personas were about how the sickness was, or our diagnosis were discovered, and what was their way, how they were living with that. Because this asthma diagnosis, so that if you are getting diagnosed with this asthma, then probably you will get like 3 to 5 years to live, because it's really heavy one, and people are dying from that. But so this was the way how people actually are living with this diagnosis, and what is their pains when they are getting the treatment, how they were discovered, because again, the project was about that we are lacking of diagnosis. So it means that there are many people who are walking around even not knowing that there is this very heavy disease actually living in them. So these were different personas. What in this case, Rolands was the guy who knew, who discovered. He had pretty complicated way how he get to this discovery, but then for example, he's smoking, but then he said like, okay, I have only 3 years left, so why should I quit? And of course, then if we talked with doctors, then it's really hard to for them really hard to understand that you are getting, you are having this very heavy diagnosis, but you, in the same time, you are keeping smoking and you don't care so much about your health anymore. But then on the other hand, there is patient who knows that he have only a few years left to live, so he have also like he's really actually give up on his life at some point. So how to deal with this? And also another method what we are using is user journey. Maybe you have heard it. You saw the Starbucks. It was service blueprint, pretty the same, but it is service blueprint is showing actually how service is provided in both levels, from user perspective and from service provider's perspective. In user journey, we are just focusing on the user, and we are mapping out step by step what is happening in his or hers journey of receiving the service. So here you can see the step by step what is happening, then how emotionally this red line is showing how emotionally he is feeling in this every steps, and what are the challenges or problems there. This is prepared for workshop, so this was actually kind of template for workshop where doctors were actually thinking about what kind of how this journey could look like in this ideal scenario, and actually what are the involved. That's why here in the bottom part there are involved parties. So this was the task for the workshop, to identify which stakeholders are involved in each of the steps. Yes. And then you also will have to, in homework, you will also have to define your how might we, and I will explain later on how it will look in homework, but this was about this museum where you saw some pictures from that workshop, but this was the how might we reduce this boredom for teenagers in the museum. So that was kind of when first diamond is ending and before starts the new diamond, we define the problem what we want to solve in ideation phase. That's why we have to define it, to write it on the paper, because if we're working in the teams, every team member could have some slightly different idea how might we looks like. And at the end, when you start to ideate on a solution, then you might have slightly different ways how to approach this problem if it's not defined. And in developing phase, yes, something like that is happening and working hard. Also something like this. We had on the left-hand side there you can see prototype for app game. And on the right-hand side there is also prototype for some kind of smart booth where some senior guys can look for something about the museum while their wives are getting excited about museum and they are tired and they want to sit down. So actually to kind of try them as well to say something about museum, this is the way how to do it, to have comfortable chair and screen in front of them and some voice which explains about what's happening. So actually the couple can go to the museum while wife is going around, look for everything that's happening there. So because that was discovery that the females are going and exploring the museums, but the husbands of them are very bored, and usually they are sitting down and don't see anything from the museum. So this was the result of discovery. Yes, and then the final case study, what I want to share with you before we talk about the homework, is the story where I got introduced with service design. Actually, when I did this project, I didn't know that that's service design, but after when we did it already many years after, I discovered that that's called service design. So the story was that my husband's sister, she is deaf, and the whole family is deaf. And since I have 3 kids, and I know that what does it mean to be mom, and what does it mean to deliver the baby. And then at some point we discovered how difficult and different it is for deaf people to do the same thing. To actually, when you are receiving the baby, then the experience is totally different, because nobody can really communicate with you in delivery house, if it's the right name for that in English. So me and my friend, we did project. We received funding from social fund, Latvian social fund, and after that we also were nominated for European best projects for women's health. And from 2013, actually, there is available this service in Riga Dzemdību. So there are assistants who are helping the deaf families to enjoy this happy moment of their lives when they're receiving the baby. And it was pretty long and a bit difficult project, because for me, as I had only just a few experience with deaf society. For me, it was some discoveries which were surprising discoveries, actually, about the way how they communicate, how close society they are, and how protective they are from the other, like from the rest of the world. So it was really hard to find something what works for them. And first we had idea to teach sign language. There are these doulas. Doula is the woman who is going to help to be assistant for everyone in the delivery. So we had idea first to teach them sign language, but then it appeared that actually it's not possible to teach in such a level sign language that you can speak with a person who is in this kind of very emotional and almost affect situation. So at the end, after prototyping and testing, we discovered that there are pretty many women who are born who are able to speak and to so they are not deaf, but who are born in deaf families. So they know sign language already from their birth, from the childhood. So we taught them to be these assistants, and they were very happy to actually come back to their communities and help them. And still the service is possible to receive in Riga. And there are many babies are every year born with this help of this service. So this is a story how I get introduced to service design. Yes, is there any question before we talk about homework?
I think we can talk about homework, and then maybe questions will arise when we know what we have to do.
Okay. So as you, in a kind of to wrap up all this presentation and lecture, I don't know, of course, how is your feelings about service design? Maybe you can share, but I think it's pretty complicated field. And of course, there are a lot of methodology and many books, really many books, and many as well videos what you can see. And I hope you maybe a little bit fell in love with service design. But I really hope that this homework is going to be for you doable. And if not, then of course, we can discuss and maybe like reduce the load of the homework. But yeah, let's maybe talk about homework. But was it there some sound?
Yeah. I read the overview of the homework. So basically, upgrade an existing problem so it's less of a problem, right?
Can you a little bit explain more what you mean?
So basically, for the next 2 weeks, right? A week and a half.
Do we have Aris here yet, or
3 weeks? 3 weeks. So 2.5 weeks. So we have to like approach a problem that we face and try to improve so it's less of a hassle to do it or approach it, right?
yeah, I will. I have. This is not only a slide for homework here. This is
Oh, okay.
beginning. But so I would love. I would love that. Yes, you think about something. What you maybe, at least from Aris, I heard that the girls who are in Sweden, maybe they want to apply this service design approach to their current project. But maybe for some of you, there is some current project, or maybe not. So yes, I would love that you do for some of your idea or existing service. Maybe you can inspect some existing service. So first of all, I would love that you make stakeholder mapping. And do you remember what it is and what does it mean?
Yeah, we can just move on. We've already went through all this theory beforehand before we had the lectures. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows.
Okay.
Just we're gonna do it here.
Okay, so stakeholder mapping is something what I would love that you do. To do it properly, probably you will need to do some interviews or some desktop research, some interviews, maybe some more kind of research things what you can see from the book or from material I gave to you. So this is one thing, and here you can see that there are many ways how to do it. And I will share the slides with you so you will have possibility to see them once again. So stakeholder map is one thing. Then another thing is personas. And here is very nice video so you can see, and I think it's maybe it explains more detail than I had the possibility to tell you today. But so personas is something what you I would love that you do as well. So these are examples of what I explained to you. And then service journey. Again, video here, and then some examples like this one. And there is Starbucks service journey. This is service journey, not the blueprint that I showed you before. So service journey is a bit easier. So actually you are doing step by step how service is received. Yes, question?
So basically the service journey needs to be different for each of the customers that we're making it for, right?
It could be slightly different. It could be the same. It depends. It depends really on service. It could be that there are some slight difference in some kind of segment of the journey. It could be it's the same, but usually yes, for different personas, it's slightly different journey. Yes.
Yeah, so that's the way that at least makes sense to me, because me and Ralph and Kristaps are hosting a party, well, basically event in Liepāja. There are people that are coming from Liepāja. For them, the service is the journey is gonna be different than people coming from Riga.
So
Definitely, yes, definitely, yes, yes. As you can see also here, anyway, the coffee, they're receiving coffee, all of them are at the end receiving the coffee, but how they get the coffee is a bit different. So for you, it's the same. Yes.
yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. There was another sound for a question, or?
Oh no, that was also me. I misclicked.
Okay, okay. Okay, and then how might we? Because that's something what, so these first three things are for the research, and then how might we is something where you actually defining what you are going to do, like some new idea or something, what you are approaching, some problem or something. So this is what I would love to see as well. And 3 slides of your idea how to solve the problem or challenge in 3 slides. And then your idea. This is the example how idea could look like. This is a real example. I will, if I will have time, I will show you full presentation of this thing what is here. And then so. The second slide is about key features or user benefits. It could be something, this is very specific, but so key features, benefits. And then third slide about impact. So these are just examples. There can be a lot more information. It's more about conceptual way how these 3 slides are, what kind of information is there. So last one is impact. Second one is key features and user benefits. And the first one is big idea. And I'm going backwards now. And then there is research. That's it. What do you think? Is it doable?
More
what? More to do, or it's too much?
Yeah, I would say we probably need a little bit more because otherwise we're not going to be challenged enough.
Oh, really?
I mean, I think it's enough if you think about all the research you do, but it depends on how deep and how detailed you want to explore and make these deliverables.
Exactly. That's why I want to show you the real presentation of this, the card, what was there in these 3 slides. So basically, this is the presentation. How deep you can go if you want, you know. So this is, you see, yes? Do you see my screen and presentation?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so this is the presentation of our SDSI students, the team. We worked with Riga Airport as our client, and this is their idea, what they were presenting after this course. And yes, just actually they went through all of this, but they had 3 months to do it. So this is very deep, and they were doing it in the team. So for you, it's light, but if you want to go deep, you can do it. So it just shows that there are, you know, unlimited ways how deep you can go. So these are the guys who were doing this project. So Jānis from Latvia, Shafak from Pakistan, Lynn from China, Marcela from Mexico, Daniel from Hungary, and Brenda from Peru. And they first did research, ideation, product, and then talking also about how it could be developed in RICS. So research, here you can see their the target audience or persona. After the research, they defined the persona solo traveler in particular age. And after these are the, you can see here in the middle, there are these quantitative data what RICS were presenting to students. So these were where they are getting out information why this persona is, how big let's say part of their customers is this segment. And then, yeah, they were also doing some research actually in airport. They were looking, what do you do? What do you do actually when you are having some spare time in airport? And for example, if your flight is delayed, so what do you do? They did some desktop research. So these are some, on the left-hand side, you can see from social media, some complaints or some comments about RICS. And then research wall in the middle, you see, this is a bit bigger than the one I showed you about museums. And then they were also doing service safari in RICS airport, looking what actually people are doing. And their journey map, you can see here on the right-hand side, on the end, pretty long journey with many steps, what people actually going through. How long is the journey in airport? Then they did also some surveys like this, anyway, different things. They were doing research for quite a long time, so they were also asking some questionnaires, and yeah, you can see here is the link to that, and some answers. So what they discovered that first thing what people are looking for is the gate, because they don't want to be late for the flight. And another thing what they discovered are the charging spots, because we are having gadgets and we need to charge them. And if we are spending whole day in one airport and another one and another one, then this is the ones we are looking for as charging spots. And then, of course, the third thing is belonging and storage, because we have things, we have coats, we have many bags, and sometimes they're also hungry. So these were the three top challenges what they took for their first diamond. And then this lovely picture with the guys next to the charger spot. And cabin bags. So these were the three things. And information, yes, about why people are getting to the gate, because they are not sure how long you need to, how long way is to the gate. So that's why first thing what you do, you go to the gate, you see the gate, and then you are staying actually close to the gate. Either you are just sitting down charging, or you are looking, scrolling the phone, or if there is something around, then you also look for some food or to eat something. Yes, so finally they discovered that there is this loop of things what they need to solve, and some brainstorming. And I don't know, do you use, actually, this is a question, do you use these boards like Miro or Mural for your work? Or how do you work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. So, you know, yes, because I think since we are in digital era, these are the very nice tools to use for gathering the information. So yes, good to know. And then finally the product. So this was the idea, what you also saw in this first of slides, what I showed you as a homework. So this was the drawing of this cart. And so their idea is to have this smart cart, which have this digital panel where you can see things on the, so there is tablet on the front. You see everything like navigation, you can see some advertisement, you can see, actually, when they were presenting to RICS, it's also a possibility to gather the data for airport, to gather the data through this digital device. It's not only that you are giving something to your customers, but it's also you are receiving, because you are gathering the data, what people are actually looking for, what they are missing, what are their needs. And then on this digital board, there's also chargers. So yeah, this is information to the gate. So it's navigation to the gate. You can also like see if you are looking for, I don't know, some restaurant, or you're looking for toilets or whatever, some water, this running water or whatever. So this is the way how you receive information. Then it's also a possibility to get advertisements. You can get discounts. Restaurants and these food beverages, shops, they can work and receive clients more easier. You can find and then personalize actually this research. For example, if you are vegan or vegetarian, then it's easy to also add something that you are not eating or whatever. So this is this kind of things. And then of course promotions and actually attracting the people, or you can even promote something what is not in the airport but somewhere else. Because Riks, we're talking about Riks City, which is going to be this new area next to airport in many hectares with a lot of restaurants and entertainment places and so on. So this is also a possibility then to promote something what is outside the airport. And then you can see here how prototyping were actually happening, because for this quick and dirty prototyping, to test the idea, you don't actually need like, polished and shiny thing. You just need something what looks like something, and you can, with nice storytelling, you can convince people that, imagine this is this and this is that. So storytelling and something what looks like something, it works in this prototyping period. And the guys went with this dirty prototype to Riga airport and actually tested it with the clients and users, and they were super happy about charging. As you can see, the power bank with this orange cable. So yes, and then of course about how you are selling the thing to Riks, because it's not, again, it's business thing. It's not about pleasing only the users or customers. It's also that you are getting something, because Riks would have to spend money to introduce these cards. So it's about what you are getting back from this. So increased activity, because that was main challenge actually, that people are when they're going to the gate, staying next to the gate, charging, they don't move, they don't spend money. So in this way, they can move around, they can spend money, and Riks is happy for that. You can see heat maps, so you see where actually people, how they are moving, where they are going, which is the most valuable spot in airport to sell or rent out, for example, which are the best shop places or whatever. You can advertise things, you can do some partnerships, e-commerce, franchising, and I don't see the last one because it's endless screen features, yes. And then since one of the main points what Riks ask for students to also to think about ESG, these sustainability points, or what they are, standards. So the idea about the wheels are that they are these energy producing wheels. So actually when the person is pulling the trolley, the wheels are producing energy. So very sustainable idea. So, and also inclusion and so on. And then also they did some validation, market validation with analog research, and there are in many airports actually there is something like that, and also some shops. So there is these things, and then also for Riks, we had also CEOs coming here in Kuldig, and they had very very nice presentations. Students were presenting their ideas, and this was something what they were also presenting. So this is in the first level. This you receive this. So there is navigation, there is charging and luggage storage, and then you can even top up this with some AI chatbot or this cordless charging. And there was big issue was about luggage storage, because you know, there is this sound in airport that please don't leave your luggage unattended. So there is question, what do you do with this cart when you are going, for example, to toilet? So can you bring it in, or you leave it outside? And what's happening with your luggage? And then there was this idea that it could be transparent storage with some kind of lock or something. But you know, this issue kind of was not totally solved, because RICS were not very convinced how actually it could be done, because you cannot leave, even if you go to toilet, you cannot leave something outside. And then even third layer is food ordering and baby carriage. So this luggage trolley could be with this baby seat, for example, as well, and then this cordless fast charging as well. So there are next levels as well to think about. And then yeah, like why this idea is good, why the RICS should consider introducing something like this is this 30,000 plus daily traffic, which is promised for, I think it's promised for this RICS city. I don't think it's, I don't believe that this is the, like today's number of traffic. But I think this is something what they are heading for this next iteration of RICS city. And yeah, the slogan, informed and mobile. Yes, so as you can see, you can go very deep in your presentations as well, if you have time and if you have willingness. But since for me it's something what this is from my side. This is experiment with you, because it's you have totally different setup what I have with my students, because we are meeting every week and we have very long course. So you have very different setup. So that's why I'm kind of don't know what is the best way how you can do this. But we could schedule these meetings in once next week and one after that. So if you have some questions or something what you want to check, we can meet and we can.
Yes, we could do that. Is there a time, what time is the most available for you?
For me, Thursdays would work. So so what time do you, what about you? Thursdays, is it okay? How does it work for you?
I think, yeah, we have on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, we have our, when we go to our co-working and work together as a team from 9 till 4. So in that time frame, it would be really nice.
So Thursday at 10 could work for you.
Ideāli, precīzi. No,
Atgriezties pie latviešu valodas.
Labāk piedāvājumu neesmu dzirdējis.
Ceturtdien 10.
29. datums, jā?
Jā.
Un arī nākamā nedēļa pēc tam tas ir 7.
Jā.
Ceturtdien neaizmirsīsim Matīsu. Sazvans arī Matīs Ansviesuls no rīta.
Tad mēs varam arī kaut kad, ja es skatos, man ceturtdienas patreiz ir tādas diezgan brīvas. Es baigi, varbūt 11. vai 12. tad, ja jums ir kaut kāda...
12. es domāju, ka jūs īzī varat saslēgties, jā. Vienkārši līdz kaut kādiem, varbūt 10:30 varētu iet tā saruna no Matīs puses.
Līdz 10:30?
Es domāju, ka jā, kādu stundiņu viņš varētu dalīties.
Tad varbūt 11. Lai nav baigi tur neievēlks. iekšā.
Jā, gan jau, ka jākaur 11.
Ja? Super. Nu, labi. Tad es āries ar tevīm, tad kaut kā mēs izdomājam, kā es tev nošēroju tos slaidus, ja?
Jā, kurš uztaisīja to Google šodienas sazvanu? Tur ir e-pasts, es domāju, kāds iekšā. Jebkuram, nu labi, es tev aizsūtīšu e-pastu. Jā, aizsūtīju.
Jā, atsūti, un es droši vien jau tas būs kaut kāds failiem vai WeTransfer links, jo tā prezentācija droši vien beigas smagā ir.
Jā, viņa pasmagā, jā. Okay.
Jā.
Kāds
visumā, jā, kaut kādu pasakiet kaut ko, kā jums likās.
Kāds pārdomas insights?
Jā.
Man patika, ka bija stāsti no pieredzes, no reālās dzīves, kas ļāva vairāk izprast to, kā izpaužas service design reālajā dzīvē un kā tas strādā, ne tikai tā tīri no teorijas. Jā, ir daudz ko pārdomāt, bet jā, man tas patika, ka aptuveni es saprotu tagad to kopbildi, kā tas viss notiek. Bet tad, kad es skatīšos par savu projektu visu un pētīšu, tad droši vien radīsies vēl daudz jautājumu, kad es sākšu reāli vairāk iedziļināties katrā no tām sadaļām.
Tas, ko... English, Latvian, how do you want? Okay. Tas, ko es sapratu, ka būtu bijis foršāk, ja mēs būtu zinājuši savu to uzdevumu pirms tu visu stāstīji, lai es varētu jau ķert to tavu pieredzi un salikt kopā ar to, kas mums būs jādara. Jo tagad man nebija konteksts īsti tam, kas mums būs jādara klausoties tevi sākumā, un tad varbūt es palaidu garām to, kas man noderētu projektā.
Tev būs slaidi. Es domāju, ka varbūt tas ir. Jo vienmēr arī, man liekas, ir tas tāds trikīgi jautājums labāk pirms vai pēc, kā tur, jo tas tā kā, lai šausmīgi var, man liekas, sabīties, nezinu. Es domāju, ka tur varētu reāli sabīties un tur aizsūtīt tos no sākuma to uzdevumu, piemēram.
Mēs esam bezbailīgie cilvēki.
Jā, tas labi.
Zini kā, testē. Es nezinu, cik ātri tu varētu izgrūst ārā.
Tam jau tas service design ir testēšana, palielam. Daļa vismaz no tā visa.
Kristiāna?
Jā, es ierakstīju komentāru, bet tas, kas man ļoti patīk, tas mums bija atsūtīt jau materiāli, ko sagatavot. Es nezinu, man var dzirdēt tagad labi.
Var dzirdēt.
Bet, jā, man patīk tas, ka mums bija iespēja sagatavoties savā ziņā un pat neizlasot pilnībā visu to grāmatu, saprast, kas ir tas, kur tu runā un saprast to slengu. Piemēram, kad izmantoju vārdu to safari, man bija tāds, es zinu, kas tas ir. Tagad tas bija patīkami.
Okay, forši.
Saistībā par sagatavošanos, man likās, ka varētu daudz reitāk iet cauri, bet tas drīzāk ir mums, ka vienkārši mēs neteicām. Varbūt man tas ir tikai. Bet vienkārši no tā, kas bija izgājis cauri jau tiem failiem, likās tā kā samērā daudz tādā ziņā atkārtošana. Vienkārši prezentācijas veidā tagad klausoties, nevis vienkārši pašam lasot. Bet, jā, es nezināju, kā bija citiem, tāpēc negribēju diži arī steidzināti priekš.
Ok. Jā, tas droši vien katram kā arī uztvers. Ja man, piemēram, arī, es jau centos tā kā mēģināt pišķiņ kaut ko pastāstīt no dzīves, tā, lai nav tīra teorija, tā kā līdz ar to. Labi.
Man pat šķiet, ka varēja uzreiz jau miksēt to visu iekšā, jo tā kā, es to vairāk redzēju, kā pirmā daļa bija teorija, un tad otrajā tu sāki vairāk miksēt tieši to praktisko. Un principā jau uzreiz iesākot ar praktiku, jau tur var arī ievīt iekšā teoriju, un tāpat varētu vienkārši ātrāk skaistāk visam iziet cauri, bet manis
šķiet. Paldies par feedback, forši. Bet labi.
Man ļoti patika. Izpaigi super. Jā, visu, ko es vēlētos to prezentāciju. Jā, tad tiekamies nākošu ceturtdienu, ja?
Jā, sarunāts. Un nākošu ceturtdienu tas tīri no jums, jūs neesat rādīt un es komentēju un iesaku jums kaut ko un tā. Ja? Nu,
Tā arī būs.
Ļoti labi. Tad lai jums forša diena un tiekamies ceturtdien.
Paldies!
Čau!